Welcome to social science class. Good morning, children. How are you? Hope you are all safe, isn't it? The 63rd lesson, rural life and society. Okay, in that lesson we have learned about the three land revenue policy introduced by the British government, isn't it? That are the permanent settlement, Raitwari system and Magalwari system. These three land revenue policies were affected the life of the cultivators. Okay, so they revolted against the British government. That revolt was called as the Peasants' Revolt. Peasants means the cultivators or the farmers, isn't it? Among that we have learned about the first rebellion. It is Sandal Rebellion. Sandal is the name of the place. Okay, so in Bihar, the people, those who are living in the Sandal village, they revolted against the British government. That revolt was called as the Sandal Rebellion. It was the first revolt against the British government in India. Okay, so that here also next Indigo Revolt. That indigo is the name of a color. It is used for the dyeing purposes. In it here also the demand of the indigo is in great level in European market. Okay, so that British offices also turned into planters, indigo planters. So they gave the land to the cultivators and compelled the cultivators to cultivate indigo, and they sold it for less prices. What are the prices fixed by the planters? That they want to sell the plant indigo. Okay, so they also revolted against the British government. That indigo revolt, it was called the India tenants. Tenants means a person who occupied the land from the landlords, isn't it? That will I say rented case, that they fixed as the rented level. They want to cultivate the list. So but here this revolt, that indigo revolt, was led by two brothers, that the Digambar Vishwas and Vishnu Sarab Biswas. They were, but one great writer, his name is Dinabandhu Mitra. He wrote one drama. It is called as Nildarban. In that is written in Bengali language. In that drama, he mentioned about the attention of the people and the government towards the misery of the indigo cultivators. Misery meaning that unhappiness. What are the difficulties faced by the indigo cultivators? He mentioned in his drama Nildarban. Okay, it is written in the Bengali language also. Okay, then after that we studied about the Papna revolt, isn't it? Papna revolt, it is originated in the one Pargana. Pargana means village, that is Yusufzhagi Pargana. Yusufzhagi Pargana, it is located in Bengal state. Okay, there also this revolt was led by two brothers, Kasab Chandra Raj. It was led by the Kasab Chandra Raj, that they revolted against the illegal of the Zamindars and the money lenders, isn't it? But already we studied about the British government fixed the tax to the Zamindars paid to the British government, but they did not mention the tax collection from the cultivators. So that Zamindars and the village government, they collected more money from the cultivators. Those find miserable life. Okay, so they against this illegal way. So they are fought against the British government. So but anyway, that it was a strong awareness of the people, okay, of a law and their legal rights they make. Okay, next Deccan riots. Deccan means the place Deccan. It took place in the district Pune, but it is called as the Deccan riots. Already I told you, riots meanings farmers or the cultivators. It took place in the year 1875. Okay, that's peasants or the cultivators revolted against that British government, the district of Pune. Okay, so here also this according to the fight, the government, the Deccan government, they passed one act. The name of that is Deccan Agriculturist Relief Act. What is the name of the act? Deccan Agriculturist Relief Act. It is relief meanings that help or that removal of little pain. What are the pains they faced by the cultivators? It is a relief to the cultivators. Okay, what is the act? Deccan Agriculturalist Relief Act. Okay, that means we have land, isn't it? Today we are going to learn about the 5 rebellions. That is Punjab Peasants Movement. It is took place in the year 1890 to 1900. Then second, Champaran Satyagraha in Bihar, the year 1917 to 18. Third one is the Khaira Satyagraha in Gujarat, that is took place in the year 1918. Then Mapla Rebellion in Kerala, 1921. Then fifth one, Bardoli Satyagraha in Gujarat, that is in the year 1929 to 30. Today we are going to learn about these 5 revolt. First, Punjab Peasants Revolt, Champaran Revolt, Satyagraha Revolt, okay, same meaning. Then Khaira Satyagraha in Gujarat, then Mapla Rebellions in Kerala, and the Bardoli Satyagraha in Gujarat. About this very shortly, I am telling about these 5 rebellions. Okay, first the Punjab, the peasants of the Punjab, when they revolted against the zamindars and moneylenders. Okay, this time the government of Punjab did not want any revolt took place in that state, Punjab. So what they meant is that in order to protect the peasants of the Punjab, the Punjab government, what they it means, the Punjab, they passed one act, that name of that is Punjab Land Alienation Act. Punjab Land Alienation Land, it was passed by the Punjab government. According to this government, this act, it divided the population of the Punjab into 3 categories wise. The Punjab people were divided into 3 category wise. First one is the agricultural cases, all the agricultural people, agricultural cases. Then secondly, the statutory agriculturist class. That means statutory means that fixed by law, according to this much that produces everything, the second class people, that is the agricultural. First one is the agricultural classes, second was the stationarist agriculturist classes, then third one is the rest of the population including the money lenders, that is high class people plus the money lenders in the third category. Like that, the Punjab government divided or classified the people of Punjab into 3 categories. First one is the agriculturist classes, second is the stationary agriculturist, that means fixed rate agriculturist, that third one is the remaining population plus the money lenders in the third category. Like that, 3 that Punjab government divided, isn't it? So here that restriction were imposed on the sales and the mortgage of the land from the first category peoples to the other 2 categories. Here what means restriction means limitation. They found some laws, some rules were imposed on the sale. They for selling the indigo or that production, they sell that fixed rate they fixed. Okay, so that restriction means the limitations were imposed on the sale. For the selling also they imposed some restriction limitations, and the mortgage, that means that they giving the land, where they are getting the money lenders and zamindars getting the land from the first category people, that is agriculturist people, class people. Okay, there also some limitations was there. Okay, so according to this, there is a Punjab government did a little welfare to the in favor of the cultivators or the peasants. Okay, this much about the Punjab Rebellion, Punjab Peasant Rebellion, okay, or movement. Then second, next, Champaran Satyagraha. Champaran Satyagraha in Bihar, it took place in the year 1917 to 18. In Champaran, this is the name of a place. The peasants were bound by law to grow indigo. According to that only, what they passed one law, what that Champaran, it is in Bihar state. What they did means, according to this law, 3 by 20 part of the land was, it is compulsory to cultivate the indigo plant. According to the law, the people of Bihar, they want to cultivate 3 part of the land out of 20. How much they have that they want to cultivate in that area, that 3 part of area they want to cultivate it indigo. It is very compulsory, but they want to sell this the fixed rate of the British planters. Okay, so less price only. So the cultivators of that Bihar, they revolted against the government. Okay, here that Mahatma Gandhi took up this case suit. This case was under the care of the Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so the government appointed one inquiry commission. Which government? The Bihar government appointed one inquiry commission. In that commission, that is Gandhiji also one of the member of that commission. Okay, already this case was took by Mahatma Gandhi. Now also they appointed one inquiry commission. The government only appointed the inquiry commission. There also that who was the member of that inquiry commission? Mahatma Gandhi was one of the member of the inquiry commission. Okay, that in this commission the grievances of the peasants were inquired and ultimately the Chamberlain Agrarian Act was passed in May 1918. Okay, what is the meaning of that? Grievances already I told you, complaint. The complaint of the cultivators or the peasants were inquired. Inquired meanings was they are raising some questions with a view of to find out the truth. Okay, in order to find out the truth, they are raising some questions. Okay, the inquiry. So that inquiry and ultimately the Chamberlain Agrarian Act was passed. This according to the Agrarian Act, they got little really which people the cultivators of the Bihar. That is the Chamberlain is the name of the place in Bihar. So this only about that Chamberlain Satyagraha movement. Okay, that next rebellion took place in Hydra Satyagraha. That Hydra or the Heda. Name same. Okay, Heda or Gaidra. It is a Satyagraha. It is a Hydra is the district in Gujarat. One of the district in Gujarat. There only they took place because due to the famine of the cultivators. Famine meanings that poor condition life, isn't it? They get the money from the money lenders. Nowadays they couldn't pay the money to the money lenders, or they have no money to cultivate the plant also. So what this means, there was a famine took place in this district. Okay, so what they mention, the local peasants there were they started no tax movement. What is the movement name? No tax movement. Why no tax? Because they didn't cultivate any crops, isn't it? So they didn't cultivate to produce any crops. So they told no tax movement. The local peasants they started which movement? No tax movement. That here also Gandhiji only accepted the leadership of this movement. Okay, this is here also. Chamberlain Satyagraha also in Bihar, Gandhiji. Okay, this is Kaira Satyagraha in Gujarat. Here also Gandhiji only had the leadership. Okay, so here that the government had to bow to the settlement with the peasants. That the government accept the land revenue system little reduced to the peasants. Okay, because the Gandhiji was the leader, isn't it? So here this time only Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, isn't it? He also emerged as an important leader of the Indian freedom struggle during this period. He was one of the important freedom fighter, isn't it? So who was that? Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He also ended in this movement. Which movement? This Hydra Satyagraha. Okay, here do you remember? No tax movement, because that famine took place in that district. So peasants only started the revolt name No Tax Movement or No Tax Revolution. Okay, that next last one. Next Mappila Rebellion in Kerala. Mappila Rebellion, that here Mappila is not the name of a place, isn't it? It is the one community people, one group of people like Nadar community. Here also Mappila community, Mapplians, isn't it? That in Kerala, Malabar district they are living, but nowadays in Kanyakumari districts also few of the Mappila families are living, isn't it? So that Mappila is the name of one community of the people, isn't it? Don't think the name of the place, okay. So here also that Mappila peasants of Malabar, that Kerala state, isn't it? They are suppressed and exploited by the Hindu Zamindars and British government. They are like a slave treated by the Zamindars and the British government. This was the main causes for this revolt. In August 1921, the Mappila peasants, they attacked the police stations. Already I told you, they attacked the police stations, public offices and communications and houses of the landlords and money lenders. They attacked, they revolted against the government. The government unkindly, but the Mappilans, they attacked, attacked the police stations, the houses of the Zamindars, the money lenders and the British offices also, isn't it? So this revolt, this government truthlessly means unkindly suppressed the rebellion. Here nearly 2,337 Mappila's rebellions were killed. Next, 1,650 Mappilans were got injured. Then more than 45,000 Mappila rebellions were captured as prisoners. Okay, so this British government suppressed the Mappila rebellion. Okay, but next that last one is the Bardoli Satyagraha in Gujarat. Most of the rebellions revolted in Bihar and Bengal, Gujarat. Okay, here that Bardoli Satyagraha in Gujarat, that is the year 1929 to 30, 1 year, isn't it? So here in the year 1928, the peasants of Baroli in Gujarat started their aggression. Aggression means revolted under the leadership of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Here this rebellion was led by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Okay, so in protest against the government proposal of ACE, they increased the tax, which government this year that Bardoli in that places in Gujarat, that Baroli, that district, the government increased the tax, that is the 30% okay, tax. So they revolted against the tax. The peasants refused to pay the tax at the enhanced means increasing by the government. Okay, and they started like that, no tax campaign. Campaign means movement, no tax movement. So from February 1920. That now this revolt, many of the women also participated in this rebellions. So this much only about it. However, all this land were returned to them when the Congress came to power in 1937. During the period 1937, when Congress started to rule our country, became power, they turned over the land to the peasants. Okay, this is only about this revolt. Okay, our peasants revolt. We have completed. Okay, thank you.